Sacred, the S-rank group, entered the guild. The group was composed of Grouse, the swift god and group leader, Ares, the strong arm, Serum, the blazing flame, and Lena, the sacred sword. Light made his way through the crowd and managed to greet Lena, who didn't recognize him, and left without giving him an opportunity. Ayla asked Light if he knew her, and he replied that he did, but couldn't believe she had forgotten him. Light took Ayla to eat a slice of pizza. The girl said it was the most delicious thing she had ever eaten. While Ayla enjoyed the moment, Light was very disheartened by Lena forgetting him. Ayla teased Light by threatening to eat the entire pizza, something he couldn't allow. He ended up choking on a couple of slices, and someone handed him a glass of water. It was Lena. Light couldn't believe his eyes. Lena managed to cover his mouth and asked him not to make any noise because Grouse might see them. Lena asked about Ayla's relationship with Light, but he interrupted her, asking what she was doing there. Once again, Lena asked him to lower his voice and questioned what he was doing at the guild. Light explained that he and Ayla were now adventurers. He told her everything that had happened with the fruits, and discovering that Light could now pursue his dream made Lena very happy. Light assured her that with his God of the Sword skill, he would soon reach her level. He asked her what it was like to be part of an S-rank group like Sacred. Lena, looking downcast, admitted it wasn't as amazing as it seemed. She was forced to work with people chosen by the Sacred Sister, the woman who gave them the fruits. Although the pay was good, Lena said the environment was terrible and advised Light to stay away from Sacred. Light now understood why she pretended not to know him. When Light asked what it was like to belong to Sacred, Lena recalled an incident 2 months earlier when they faced a giant serpent. Grouse suggested using fire and sent Serum, who unleashed a massive firestorm that engulfed the serpent. Lena noticed the wind was carrying the flames toward nearby farms, but Grouse didn't care. The fire destroyed the crops, and Grouse convinced himself it was the best thing they could do. Lena disagreed and spoke to the Sacred Sister, who saw no problem, trusting that the villagers would only remember that Sacred defeated a monstrous serpent. Lena felt guilty for not doing more. Light understood her feelings and proposed she leave the group to join him and Ayla. Lena immediately declined. When he asked if she was truly safe, she lied, saying she was. Light noticed Lena was crying. She got up from the table and left. Light and Ayla went to collect their reward for the day's mission, earning 10,000 gold coins for defeating the ogre. Ayla noticed Light wasn't happy about completing his first mission. He confessed he was worried about Lena and wondered what Sacred might be forcing her to do. Ayla suggested he ask that man, pointing to a distant room where Grouse was accompanied by a couple of women. Grouse was recounting his stories of defeating great monsters, while the women listened, fascinated. A guild worker interrupted to inform Grouse that some locals had complained that the flames from his last fight had dried up the reservoir. Annoyed, Grouse told her to advise the locals to investigate better next time and leave. He remarked that despite his team's talent, sacrifices and collateral damage were unavoidable when fighting beasts. Light interrupted the conversation, asking Grouse to let Lena leave the group. Grouse asked who he was. Hearing Grouse's indifference, Light realized Lena would never allow herself to abandon Sacred. Grouse assumed Light was just a passionate fan of Lena. Light grew increasingly angry, knowing his friend was suffering. Grouse snapped his fingers to call security, ordering them to remove Light from the room. Ayla rejoined Light outside, where a pair of adventurers who witnessed the incident advised him not to confront Grouse. They warned that angering the Sacred Sister would make it nearly impossible to continue as adventurers in the country. The pair left the guild, and Light apologized to Ayla, realizing they might never eat pizza again. The next day, in the S-Rank Adventurers Lounge, Sacred gathered. Ares showed off a new axe granted by the Sacred Sister. Serum expressed eagerness to earn more money, happy that their powerful skills had changed their lives. Fed up with everyone, Lena remembered Light's proposal. She gathered her courage and told Grouse she wanted to leave Sacred, desiring to be an adventurer true to her principles. When she tried to leave, Grouse used his incredible speed to block her path. He took Lena's request as a challenge, warning her she would never be able to touch him with her sword. Lena decided not to fight. Grouse sheathed his sword and slapped her, declaring that they would save the world until their last breaths. Sacred left for their new mission, cheered on by the entire city. But someone stood in their way. It was Light. Grouse immediately recognized him and asked what he was doing there. Light responded that he had come for his companion and asked Lena to leave with him to hunt monsters. Ayla was with him and added that it would be more fun if Lena joined them. Lena told him to leave, but Light reminded her that they had sworn to be adventurers together. However, Lena was now a prisoner of Sacred. Light then challenged Grouse to a duel for Lena's freedom. Grouse had no reason to accept, so Light mocked him, claiming he was afraid of losing to a rookie. Grouse accepted, but demanded that Light wager something as well. If Grouse won, Light would be permanently banned from the Adventurers Guild. Light eagerly agreed, much to Lena's distress, as he had finally become an adventurer. Lena begged Light to withdraw, insisting he had no chance against Grouse. Even Grouse gave him a chance to back out. Ayla analyzed Grouse, noting that his skill allowed him to approach his opponents at superhuman speed. Light wanted the fight to be fair, so he revealed his skills: Fruit Master and God of the Sword. Grouse didn't believe anyone could have two skills and attacked Light without hesitation. Light barely managed to block the attack, struggling to see Grouse's movements and withstand his strikes. The crowd watched the fight, having no hope for Light, who could only defend himself. Grouse continued his relentless attacks, and Light could barely hold his ground. Realizing the power of an S-rank adventurer, Light attempted to counterattack, but Grouse dodged effortlessly and retaliated, breaking Light's sword. Grouse offered Lena the chance to spare Light's life if she swore eternal loyalty to him. But Light assured his friend that he would win and that everything would be fine. Ayla and Lena approached Light, both showing their faith in him. Furious, Grouse decided to finish all three of them. Ayla reminded Light that he had no weapon, so he borrowed a broom from one of the spectators. Grouse accused him of mocking him. Light focused, imagining the broom as a sword to activate his skill. He knew Grouse was faster than him, but realized he had only been falling behind because he was analyzing Grouse's attacks. Grouse charged, intent on ending the fight. Light focused, deciding to attack based on what he felt, not what he saw. He swung the broom, striking Grouse in the face and sending him crashing into a wall, unconscious. The spectators couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. Light warned the other members of Sacred that if they interfered, they would meet the same fate. Lena was now free, and Light asked her again if she would join them. Lena happily accepted. It was what she had always wanted. A week later, Ayla and Light were tending the orchard when Lena called them in for breakfast. Lena let them stay in her large house, which they used as the base of operations for their new group. Everything was going well until someone knocked at the door. It was a young man informing Lena that the Sacred Sister had requested her presence to discuss her departure from Sacred. Lena firmly replied that her answer would always be the same, and refused to meet her. The young man warned her that she would no longer receive the privileges of being part of an S-rank group. Lena didn't care, determined to find her own missions. They went to the guild, where they were only offered low-ranking jobs, exterminating demon rats in the sewers, repairing rooftops in the suburbs, and finding lost cats. Despite completing these missions, they earned very little money. Light now understood the consequences of angering the Sacred Sister. He realized they might never afford pizza again, which saddened Ayla. But Lena remained optimistic, accepting all the missions with a big smile. In the suburbs, people were amazed to see the Sacred Sword helping them rebuild their homes. Lena and Light used their skills to cut wood and gather materials in minutes. Afterward, they fought the demon rats and found the lost cat. By the end of the day, they had only earned 100 gold coins. Lena shared that she had always wanted to use her skills to help people. Even small tasks like the ones they had done that day brought her joy. She could never have done this while with Sacred. However, she knew Light didn't want to be that kind of adventurer. He wanted something more. Light told her he also had a lot of fun that day and learned a lot from her. Lena noticed her companions didn't let the situation bring them down, despite the difficulties caused by the Sacred Sister. Light suggested making a pledge, a promise to bring good fortune on their journey. He also proposed a name for their new group, Luxaria, meaning incomplete light. The girls liked the name, and they raised their swords. Ayla used a branch to make their vows. Lena vowed to be an adventurer who fought for the people. Ayla vowed to be an adventurer who would eat all the pizza in the world. Light vowed to be an adventurer who would go down in history. Hey, if you made it to this part of the video, don't forget to write the word Exquisito in the comment section. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.